Amit, thank you so much for joining for the Bengaluru Tech Summit. And this is the first time Bengaluru Tech Summit is happening virtually. And thank you. You have taken out time to talk to all of us. This is an important summit done by the government, and your voice would be very key and very significant and very important.
Thank you for having me. I'm really humbled to be here. Thank you.
So, Amit, I wanted to ask you this that, this pandemic and this unfortunate pandemic, which has engulfed everyone across the world, has also seen a very tectonic shift happening when it comes to technology. And it has, in many spaces, many sectors, when it comes to technology, has seen a lot of inflection point happening. What are some of the fundamental shifts that you are seeing in your business?
Yeah, sure. As you said, it's really unfortunate that all of us are going through these really uncertain times. Um, as you talk about e-commerce, our first and foremost priority through all this has been safety and safety of our employees, safety of our associates, our selling partners, our customers. And sometimes when you impose constraints, you often see the human spirit of innovation actually shine through even more. Also, it is worthwhile realizing that we have more than nearly 7 lakh SMBs on our marketplace. We actually have an ecosystem of nearly 10 lakh artisans, weavers, and women entrepreneurs who also sell on Amazon. So there's a lot of ecosystem that actually depends upon us for their livelihood. And then we have nearly 100 million plus customers who shop with us. So there's a lot of good data that's coming out that we can see what's going on. So let me share some of the interesting things that we've seen. They're not very surprising, but they are still worth noting. We are seeing more SMBs, small sellers and local stores are moving online. So they're embracing technology. They're realizing that as they figure out how to get footfalls back into the store, the e-commerce or the online preference for customers is going to stay here. And one good sign is that we have seen the number of new seller signups on the marketplace go up 50 to 60% since the pandemic has set in. So
Wow.
clearly, there's an increasing trend. We have more than 20,000 local shops now. These are neighborhood local stores that are using Amazon to not just sell in their locality, but sell nationally. So that's a very interesting trend that they are shaping themselves as digital entrepreneurs. I talked about this in my keynote previously. Many of these local shops are also signing up for our other services, such as pickup points, customer service points to supplement their income. So all in all, they are that local neighborhood kirana, as we know, is retransforming itself into a digital entrepreneur. So that's kind of trend
Yeah.
number one. The second bit we are noticing, which is not very surprising, are more customers are shopping online than ever before. We are seeing new customer sign up rates go up. We actually launched four more languages recently. We had Hindi and English on our site. We launched Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and Kannada. And during the holiday season, we could see that actually helped us acquire a lot of more new customers than we had anticipated. The third bit, which is quite interesting, is we are seeing many smaller, newer brands go online direct to consumer rather than have a distribution infrastructure. So what you call as direct to consumer brands. And a lot of the examples out there, small creative toys startup, new interesting foods, accessories brands. A lot of these newer ideas that are coming and they're going straight to the customer online. So that's an interesting trend. The fourth bit is, I would say, customers are shopping for groceries more than they did before online. So that's an increasing trend. We actually launched Pantry and expanded into 300 cities now because we were seeing increasing demand from remote towns in the country wanting to shop for their groceries. We expanded our fresh offering to 8 cities. So we are responding to this trend and trying to keep pace. Online streaming of content is an increasing trend. As you can imagine, people do want entertainment during these times, and that is fueling the growth of Prime. So we see customers loving Prime even more. It was a strange statistics. I found out that during the holiday season, nearly 100% of Prime members came and visited us during the holiday season. And the number of Prime signups have gone up 3 times during this holiday season as compared to normal times. In fact, Prime Day, the 2 days of Prime Day were the largest 48 hours in our history in India. So that's interesting. And the last bit I would say is all of this that I shared is not localized to any particular place. It's very national. So few data points that are just impressive for me is uh, during the first 48 hours of a Great Indian Festival, nearly 99% of India's pin codes shopped with us.
Yeah.
And we went back and said, okay, let's look at how many pin codes do prime members came from. So the prime members came from 98.3% of India's pin codes. That's pretty much every corner of the country is kind of using a mix of shopping, streaming, benefits in some ways. So I would say these are the big trends. All of them, as I said, not really surprising, but points to a very secular structural shift towards digital and online.
Coming to my next question, you've answered to that in your first, but I would still like to understand what innovations in product and processes have you introduced to cope with the current reality?
Yeah, as I said, constraints drive innovation, and especially at Amazon, we kind of have a very deep-rooted history, cultural leadership principles that are centered around, whenever we find ourselves in a box, the only thing that we know how to do well is to get out of the boxes by innovation. And that was very evident when I look at the last 6 months that the team has been operating in. Uh, uh, Firstly, safety was our first and foremost priority and continues to remain so. And so a lot of inventiveness came around safety and a lot of small changes, many small innovations that you may not talk about independently, but they all together led to many process changes in our entire system, all the way from how employees are working to associates in the fulfillment centers to delivery processes and so on. And all of them count when you stitch them together. So interestingly, one innovation in that space I can talk to you about is our machine learning team and our operations team collaborated on this internal product. It's an internal tool called CRISP. It stands for COVID Risk Score Prediction. And what they did was they tried to use the mobile phone, the Bluetooth signal, the location of the associate, the proximity of the associates, where they are, what their moving patterns are, to be able to alert them and predict if somebody was at a risk of infection. And that allowed us to keep our associates safe. That allows us to keep our customers safe, our selling partners safe, because that was very foremost on our priority list as we started serving customers. And then, as we started serving customers, we got into several headwinds. One of them you would remember is we had these zones, red, orange, yellow zones. We had containment zones, and customers were still relying on us more than ever before for their essentials. So the team created a virtual pickup point where, in very quickly in real time, they would detect based on the shipments that were being coming back that there was a containment zone, and they would create a virtual pickup point address so that the next time customers in that zone placed orders, it would get mapped to that address, and on the periphery of the zone we allowed customers to come and pick up their items and then go back. So that was very interesting that we kind of changed beyond the pin codes in real time and created delivery zones that allowed customers to get their products. Another thing that we noticed was an increasing desire to get credit. As banks and other financial institutions are struggling to figure out how they should balance the risk, we saw that that was an opportunity. So we launched a product called Pay Later. We're very excited by the adoption rate that we are seeing for that product. It essentially allows customers to get a 30-day credit, small amounts, even for your electricity bill, for example, and they can pay it off at the end of the month, no interest. But they decide to, they can also convert into an EMI, a multi-month EMI. So that product is actually doing very well. It's an Amazon Pay Later product. And then finally, the last bit I can share is one of these very quick, initiative that was made by the team, which was launched this product called Local Shops on Amazon. And there was increasing conversations we were having with our sellers, where local stores were saying that it would be great if Amazon could be an online presence. So there are people that come into our stores, but there are always people who want to shop online,
Mm.
But with COVID, what happened was all these neighborhood stores had a sudden drop in footfalls. So we felt that there was an increasing need for them to have an online presence. So what Local Shops does is it allows these products, these local stores, to have an online presence on Amazon, and it has changed how we do search and personalization and deliveries and so on. That allows customers to find these products because they can ship fastest to them and discover these products. And that program is doing exceedingly well. We have more than 20,000 local shops that participated during the Great Indian Festival and found success. And we are very excited about the future potential of this product.
Amit, what you are also saying is also very significant for the country, for India, because what you're saying is that local kiranas, you are today empowering them also and the consumer to find things from your local kirana store on Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just a kirana store. I mean, if you just look around in your city, right, you have many stores that you love. I mean, Anand Sweets, you can go and shop sweets on Amazon for your Diwali, and they'll ship the product to you. It's a way for them to get a digital storefront in addition to the offline storefront that they have. In many cases, these stores are branded stores that you have had an association with, and you would love to shop them from the convenience of your home while you're shopping for other things. In many cases, these are just stores that are selling unbranded products, which are just your daily. It might be a hardware store, it might be a kirana store that's selling food and other kinds of products, and for them, I've said this many times. This whole notion of online and offline is misunderstood. You want you want to attract customers no matter where they are and offer them the convenience to discover you and find you and buy from you at all places. And that's what's happening right now. They're increasingly realizing that customers will choose, but they need to be in the journey of the customer when they're looking for new products and they're making their shopping decisions.
The Indian government has taken a lot of initiatives in the last few months. In fact, I had the opportunity to talk to the finance minister, and different ministers in terms of the different things that the government is doing. And then one of the things is the reform initiative to liberalize the regulatory framework for the other service providers. And we see that this is going to boost the IT, BPO, ITS sector. I want to understand in this context, the work from home context, and how do you at Amazon look at work from home now?
Yeah. By the way, the whole liberalized regime for ITS and BPO sector is really welcome move. And I think this is a great example. And when I was sort of just talking in my keynote, this is a great example of how the pandemic alerted us to an opportunity to act fast, and the government jumped on it to make a change that essentially made it easier for businesses because it eases compliance burden. It allows companies to focus on innovation, job creation, being globally competitive. So it's a great example that I would take inspiration from and look for other ways how this pandemic actually alerts us to get out of the way and to allow companies to be more and more competitive versus trying to govern how things happen. So I really admire what the change has been done. I think in case of Amazon, we take the health and safety of our employees very, very seriously. I talked to you about how we are worried about not just our corporate employees that work in offices, but our fulfillment center employees, our delivery associates, our customer service associates. It's a very large organization of people that comes together to deliver that smile to your doorstep. What we are doing right now is for our corporate employees, we are essentially telling them that the jobs that can be done from home, they should feel free to do that till June 30th of 2021. But there are certain jobs that they need to come to the office for. Right now, about 95% of our corporate employees are working from home, but there are about 5% who do come to office, and we take a lot of responsibility and we try to make sure that there is appropriate temperature checks, sanitization, social distancing, and they have the right facilities so that they can be safe. In case of our warehouses and distribution centers and delivery stations, we have made 100 plus process changes across the chain, from temperature checks, mass, social distancing, process improvements, so that our associates are safe and are able to deliver the experience. Even how we make deliveries to customers have undergone change so that we are implementing social distancing when we deliver that box to the customer. Also, what happens in many of these cases I talked about, these kind of situations give rise to innovation. So there's another interesting idea that kind of happened at Amazon during this phase that was being thought about before, which is can we use Alexa, our voice, essentially provide resources to our employees so that if they have questions about HR benefits, policies, maybe even about the campus, what's going on, our leadership principles, then they can get answers to them without having to talk to somebody. And with work from home, they can use Alexa on their mobile app and get access to it. In case of office, we had Alexa pods everywhere where they could talk to Alexa. And that actually won the ET People Innovation Award recently. So I'm very excited by a lot of things that are happening organically, a lot of innovation that's coming about. I think it would change in future how people work in offices and how they engage with each other. I still believe there's a lot of premium to physical one-on-one interaction when you're brainstorming and engaging and reinforcing culture. But at the same time, I think this pandemic has allowed us to understand what kind of flexibility we can add to our working style so that we can actually be more productive.
At this time, we all are thinking about life and reflecting about life, business, profession, companies, organizations. How do you see the future of Amazon, and especially in the wake of pandemic and the world that we're living in now?
Yeah, firstly, I think it's been 7 years for Amazon in India as Amazon.in, and by the way, we have been around since 2004 as development centers for our global businesses. But as Amazon.in, it's been 7 years. And if somebody told me 7 years ago that we would be in this place, India's largest online store, largest marketplace, we've been voted India's most trusted marketplace for multiple years in a row, the kind of impact that we're having on small businesses and consumer daily lives and livelihoods, I wouldn't have believed that. Like I do know our small ambition there and plans, and I can tell you that it was none of this anticipated what's going on right now. I think as we look ahead, it's pretty clear that it's India's moment. This 21st century is going to be India's century. And the advantage of having the kind of scale that we have right now is that we can actually dream big. We believe that we have a real opportunity and responsibility to actually be a catalyst in what's going to happen in the country going forward as we digitally transform consumption, lives, livelihoods at a very meaningful scale. And we are already seeing signs of that. So we can dream big to not just be a great service for customers, but to be a partner in India's journey as it unleashes its potential. And part of that dream big was realized when Jeff Bezos was in India in January. It seems so far back. Some of these even seem unbelievable that we actually got together in one place. But he was here in India and he pledged that Amazon will enable $10 billion in exports, will digitize 10 million SMBs, and will create 1 million incremental digital jobs for 2025. I think that pledge is even more important than ever before, given where we are in this country. And I'm so excited that we can actually dream to make such meaningful movements and what the country is trying to do. As far as business goes, it's going to be the same for us. The same thing that I've been talking about all these years that has got us to this place. We want to enable more sellers. We want to enable more selection. We want to provide the flexibility for businesses to elastically scale up and down and at reduced cost of business operations so that they can pass the savings as low prices to customers. And we want to deliver items fast and reliably to customers in every corner of this country. What happens is when you allow businesses to sell to their locality, nationally, globally, and have part of this ecosystem, you kind of see that flywheel turn around of them being successful, their communities being successful, job creations, and so on. So I'm very excited about what lies ahead for us in India as well.
Amit, what do you think we need to do as country, as India, to revive the economy? You have the vantage point of looking at different geographies and economies and how they are shaping up.
Yeah, I think firstly, I'm very, very optimistic about the future. Uh, I think humans in general are very resilient, and it's there's no question we're going to come out of this stronger. Uh, and the Indian entrepreneur, especially, is super resilient. I mean, just the history of how much change we have seen in the last few decades. When we were growing up, we didn't even have televisions. I mean, I remember the world starting from there to where we are, and the Indian corner store has essentially adapted itself to the entire spectrum as if it was so easy, right? So I'm very optimistic about the future. I think we do have a temporary challenge at hand. This
Yeah.
will go away, and we just need to first and foremost, before we kind of just think about reviving the economy, just want to make sure that we don't lose track of the immediate crisis at hand. So we need to control the spread. We need to make sure we're prepared for vaccine distribution. We need to make sure that we keep people safe. So I would say that thing should not be lost. Now, having said that, on your question about economy, once this phase goes away, which should happen, um, I think there's going to be policy stimulus. All this is very welcome. Government will have to play a very important part, but you will need to see grassroots kind of movements. And the first one I'm very excited about is this whole, again, the adaptiveness of the Indian small business towards embracing technology. So when you
Mm.
have these small, medium-sized companies, they need to get jump started. They need to get off their feet, and technology and online is going to play an important role. I talked about how there are 700,000 SMBs on Amazon, nearly 10 lakh artisans and weavers. And when I look at some of the trends that we are seeing and how they're getting success online through products such as local shops and global selling, and uh, I'm very excited that we are able to play a role in getting them jump started, and
Yeah.
bootstrap as they go. So I think that whole ecosystem is supremely critical. It's the backbone of our economy that needs to get back on their feet. The second bit I'm very excited about is exports, because the exports allows us not to just be alone in this process. It allows our businesses to have a much larger market access as they are getting their businesses off the ground. And again, to give you an idea, we have this product called Global Selling that
Mm.
takes away the friction for a local MSME, a local manufacturer, to sell their products globally to our 10 plus marketplaces, hundreds of millions of customers. And we are seeing tremendous success there. And we are seeing tremendous interest from local Indian businesses wanting to go global. It took us almost like 3 to 4 years to get to $1 billion of exports, and then we got the next $1 billion in a year. So there is a
Mm.
rapid acceleration of Indian businesses exporting. So I'm very excited about that. I talked about the pledges that we made, and I think those are really important to us, and I think they would play a big role in helping the revival of the economy. I want to leave you with one example, which kind of brings all this thing together. There's this brand called Nature White Botanicals. You can actually go on Amazon.com and search for them. They are the fastest growing Indian brand in organic food category.
Wow.
And brand is using Amazon's global selling product. They work with 800 plus farmers across India to source kind of these traditional herbs, spices, Ayurveda products. And these have a lot of demand outside of India. They decided to join Amazon Global Selling and take their products global. Um, and 85% of their workforce is from villages,
Wow.
and they are the fastest growing, largest organic brand in many of our global marketplaces. And what's happening is their success is not just their success, it's helping their community, it's helping their manufacturing, it's helping consumption, it's helping livelihoods around them.
Yes.
So that kind of inclusive ecosystem growth you need to really see at scale for our economy to really get back on those uh, you know uh, kind of growth rates that we were used to. And it's all possible. I think online, e-commerce, digital will have to play an important role, and so would other things that the government is doing.
For all the youngsters and everyone watching, you've worked with Jeff Bezos, you've been part of the S team. What has been some of the key learnings for you as a leader working with Jeff Bezos and building Amazon.in?
I am very grateful, and I feel very lucky to have had the opportunity to work with directly with Jeff Bezos as his technical advisor for 2 years, and then with Amazon India. I often joke that I was always dreaming about this job that would allow me to solve large, high impact problems and simultaneously be able to make contribution to the society. So I find myself in this perfect place with Amazon India where we can really transform and invent at scale and simultaneously have a very meaningful impact in the direction of how India transforms digitally. So both cases, I find myself very lucky, very fortunate. And I think when I sort of look back at any of these experiences, it seems to me that the three things that have stayed constant at Amazon. I've been here for 22 years, and we've always obsessed with customers, invented on their behalf, and thought long term. And I feel that these three things are high leveraged, no matter whether you're a small startup or a large company. I am very optimistic of what lies ahead of us. Very, very excited about the momentum that we have. As I said, I'm super optimistic about the future of the Indian SMB, the Indian entrepreneur, and where India is heading. I'm certain we'll come out of this stronger, more resilient, and very optimistic what lies ahead of us. So very thankful for where we are, and I really look forward to the future.